It's going
Nice.
great. I think Tina's going to be joining us shortly too as well. So.
Okay, good. Yeah, we'll be welcoming people in for a couple minutes, probably. I'm admitting people from the waiting room. We can just chat a little bit as people get going or get coming in here. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Ingrid, I can see where your loyalty lies. How you doing, Ingrid?
I meant to change that before I logged on. I was teasing my boss yesterday. Okay, I'm good. I'll switch it out.
Right. I just went and visited my friend in LA a couple of weeks ago, and she was telling me how people are really like very, very loyal.
Yeah, we're overly excited.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So Ingrid, as somebody who doesn't follow what's going on, can you update me on the latest?
Well, we played the Giants last night. It didn't end the way it wasn't a happy ending. I mean, you'd really just want to win. You don't want it to be on a call. So that felt weird, but we've lost on a call before too. So I mean, I guess it pans out, but now they're on their way to trying to go to the World Series, but they still have to beat somebody to get there. So we're just beginning playoffs, things. So we'll switch it to San Francisco.
So exciting. Hey, you don't have to front with us, Ingrid. You can keep Dodgers up there. Welcome, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Haley Myers-Dillon. I'm the director of the Parents and Families program. We are hosting our town hall Zoom today, and I am so excited. We're going to have a couple guests here to talk to us about some services that your students can get. So we're going to do the first 30 minutes. We're going to have a presentation from two special guests who run an organization called the PARC. That's an acronym for the Peer and Academic Resource Center. And I'll have Mackenzie put the link in the chat. But we want you to know about the PARC and what it does. And so we decided to bring in the people who run it. And they're going to talk to you about how tutoring works, what supplemental instruction is, and where your student can go and how your student can get academic help when they need it. Maybe they're doing fine right now, but the PARC has been on campus a long time, and it's going to be there for your students' whole, campus career. So I am really excited to welcome our guests, Dr. Tina Jordan and Vu Tran, who are going to talk to us for about 30 minutes about the PARC. And then at noon, we'll transition to our sort of more normal question and answer format.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thanks so much for coming, Dr. Jordan. How's your Friday going?
It's going really well. Had an SI meeting this morning, and students are really excited about helping other students. So I'm feeling energized, actually. And I really appreciate you saying this is an acronym for, PARC is an acronym for a Peer and Academic Resource Center. A lot of people don't recognize that, but so thank you, Haley. And then I think we have Vu Tran on the call. Hi, Vu. He is our peer. He helps a lot in the PARC. He is our tutor coordinator, faculty from the English department. So he really works to make sure students connect with other students when it comes to tutoring and workshops. So he's going to start the presentation, and I guess I'll chime in for you, Vu.
All right. So I'm going to get the presentation uploaded. And all right. Does it look fine to y'all?
Looks good.
All right, perfect. So, welcome to the Peer and Academic Resource Center. Our motto is successful students promoting student success. Give me a second, one more time, okay? Let me update the other version. Okay, perfect, I got it. I hear a song in the background.
I thought it was Mia.
Wish. All right, this is the correct slide. Successful students promoting student success is our center's motto. Take a look at our diverse peer leaders in the PARC. There's me in the middle, and Tina is right there on the right-hand bottom. Dr. Tina Jordan is the director, and I am the coordinator for workshop and tutoring. So currently, about 85% of our services are offered online at the moment. We call it the PARC Virtual Center. So it's a replicate of what the physical setting looks like. We try to create the same cultural environment, the same interaction. It is basically the same identity as the physical setting. So our virtual link is there. Our website is csus.edu/PARC. Our email contact is there. Follow us on social media too as well, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We're pretty much posting things on a weekly basis, okay? We have a few programs within the park itself. I'll elaborate on those in a few slides down the road. Our hours are Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5 and Friday from 8 to 4. We also offer non-traditional hours, evening tutoring for folks that are busy during the day and also have families to take care of also during the day too as well, from Monday to Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. So this is what our virtual center looks like. When you click on the link, you're greeted by a PARC resource guide, and the resource guide will put you into a separate breakout room depending on the subjects that you're being tutored, right? So the tutors will be there in the breakout room, and our SI leaders will also be there in the breakout room to help you with any academic needs, from psychology to biology to your major to graduate school, everything there, okay? And also, I don't know if you've been on campus yet, but our physical location is beautiful. Take a look at the artwork in Lassen Hall. Haley office is also situated there too as well. We're situated on the second floor, Lassen Hall 2200. Our operating hours are the same, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 5, and Friday from 8 to 4. We also offer the satellite offices, which is called the PARC After Dark. This semester, our satellite offices are basically virtually. Our ARC Center operates, I don't know if you know where the ARC Center is at, but it's basically near the library, Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7. And we also offer other tutoring service at the Riverview Hall Classroom 1106A, Monday through Wednesday from 5:30 to 7:30. Once again, these satellite offices are not operating physically at the moment, but they're online virtually. Next semester, we intend to have everything basically back in order, okay? Our park demographic. So I don't know if you know, but Sac State is a highly diverse campus. We are the 4th in the Western state as the most diverse campus. So our park is a microcosm of all the students that come into the park. 35% Hispanic, right? If you round up all the Asians, they're about 20%, Caucasian 17%, and our African American at 16%, which is a slightly increase from the 6% average. Most of the students that come in are between 18 to 20 years old and 21. So basically we get a lot of freshmen and sophomores and some juniors and seniors. Sometimes we also get graduate students too as well. And then a lot of the students that come in are first generation students that don't have the kind of family backing, the resources to get ahead in the university life. And then also about 20% of our students are second language learners. So they come in for that multilingual help, the second ESL type writing help, ESL writing and all that kind of sorts. So our park, once again, I'm going to talk about the services, okay? We have 5 uniquely different services that happen within the park. The first one is the park resource guides, and there are resource navigator. They connect students to other resources on campus and also resources within our own park center, like tutoring, SI, peer advising and such. Tutoring, we offer over 50 different subject and courses for tutoring. Currently, we have about 30 tutors that can tutor in a variety of many different subjects. I'll talk about that in the next slide. We also offer in-class workshops. A lot of professors request time management, self-care, study skills, note-taking. It's highly demand, especially for students that are learning in the new environment, which is the virtual world. We also have our supplemental instruction. This is a 1-unit class that is attached to a large lecture, and students that enroll in the SI course do better in terms of their GPA, passing the class, and also retention. We also have a peer advising, which is our mentorship program, where we serve 4 specific population and help them navigate the academic environment and become successful in their GE courses, their major courses, and then hopefully graduate, right? And then Tina has what she is the Sankofa Intercultural Competence Workshop, and this is a class and also workshops that help students become more culturally competent leaders in the university and beyond. And then we'll basically go into detail about each of the programs now, okay? So PARC offers, this is part of your tuition, part of your student, child tuition. Everything is free, it's one-on-one. We also offer group tutoring for very specific subjects from accounting, biology, chemistry, computer science, English, math, psychology, physics, stats, political science. And then we offer over 30 different course subjects from business accounting, child development, engineering, government history, physics, and all the works. As you can see in the chart here, our most highly demanded subjects are the STEM courses, the physics, the chemistry, the biology, and then the psychology too as well. And then the next up is basically our writing subjects. So if your child is interested, or if you are also interested in booking an appointment with us, this is our Zoom link. You can also email us or visit our website. We also have limited in-person tutoring. So we have 1 tutor that can tutor in bio 10, 25, and 26, 1 physics tutor that can tutor in all lower level division physics and upper level division physics, and also 1 writing tutor that can tutor in all lower level and upper level division writing classes too as well. And then we also offer, which is the workshop, the weekly workshops. These are requested by professors, once again, from time management, study skills, how to talk to professors, applying for grad school, self-care, a bunch of other workshops too as well. Tina will talk about the Sankofa Intercultural Competence Workshop in a few slides, okay? Our PLACE program is very special to us because we offer guidance and mentorship for 4 unique specific population, which is the Guardian Scholar Program. And these are foster youth students at Sac State that just needs that extra push and that extra help. And also 2nd year success students. These are students that are on academic probation in the 2nd year, and they also need that extra push and that extra help. We also mentor pre-nursing students to get them situated with their GE course and also get into the major per se, because it's very competitive to get into the nursing program. And then finally, we also service the government Odyssey program, which are our poli-sci students. So this is just a basic rundown of what I spoke about earlier. And Tina's gonna lead us into SI and what SI is all about. Tina.
I've been saying that all week. I'm on mute, but here I am again. I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of supplemental instruction. It's a program that has been around since 1972 on our campus. However, we just have been certified in 2019. We're up for recertification in 2022. But this program really is a lifeline to the student in the course, the main lecture, because the program is attacks historically challenging courses for our students. So for example, if your student was in History 17B, they can take an attached 1-unit course that will help them with their peers to kind of look at the content of the class, look at how the professor teaches, and then the peers get together and talk about it. The SI leader who is leading it provides students with study guide, review the class lectures and assignments. And right now it's online, but I'm hoping to come back in person in the spring. But it really helps students improve their, community engagement as far as with one another. It also helps them to develop strategies that they need. So I'm proud to say it's what we call the certified program, in that we use so many different talents and requirements for order for our students to be extraordinary SI leaders. So they have to do a lesson plan, they have to be observed. So they're working to help their peers, but in a professional, with developing their professional skills as well. So we're proud of our SI program. We don't have an SI for every historically difficult, challenging courses. We have right now 36 SI sections, but we're planning to expand them across the university. So we help with the large D and WF rate classes. So students who get a lot of, well, across the campus where there's a lot of DWF rate, what we try to do is address that through the supplemental instruction, because students who have a supplemental instruction generally will get a higher grade than the students who without the SI for that large lecture. So I would highly encourage students to take this, come to PARC and look for what SI is connected. Here's a average GPA earned in large lecture courses. So if you can see in spring 2020, in the green, you would see that SI actually, students in that class, general speaking, if they're in SI, they get a 3.0, where compared to students who didn't have an SI, they got a 2.8. So in all of our SI courses across the colleges, students do better when they're in SI. So I would highly encourage your student to look for this particular course, 1-unit course. Here's our fall 21 sections that we offer right now. So if a student had enrolled in one of these classes with the registration number on the times, the SI class would be at like the first one, Monday, Wednesday from 1 to 1:50. And so they would register for that and connect with the student that's in the course, and the faculty will introduce the student, and then they meet at a separate time. So these are the ones that have already been established. What we like to do is give the students a unit before census so that they can pretty much participate. But if they haven't have the unit, they can actually have a contract with the SI leader and continue to attend all through the semester. So it's not too late. So here is another piece that we offer in the PARC that was developed, I'm going to say in 2017, 2017. Based on my own knowledge as an expertise in cultural responsive pedagogy and education, I developed the Sankofa Intercultural Competence Leadership Skills class. So in this 1-unit course, it's online now from 10 to 11:15. It's designed to foster inclusive behavior among diverse peer leaders. So teaching our students who work with other students on campus and even in the park how to be culturally responsive to one another, so everyone has a sense of belonging. I think one of the biggest challenges at a big university like this, built on European, American kind of standard academia, is that sometimes students who from other cultures don't feel like they belong. So how do we begin to foster communication, look at ways to be culturally competent through culture awareness and identity? So the Sankofa bird is really an important symbol. It's originally from Ghana, and it really means to go back to your past and look at that past and use it in the future. So that egg that the bird has in his mouth symbolizes knowledge from our own culture. And so I want all students to know that they have a culture in this class, and that they can use their identity to propel forward and bring everybody else to have equal a sense of belonging. So you can contact me about this class, and my email address is right there. Take a picture of it for next semester if students haven't joined it yet. Either or, I'm fine to let anybody in. But this is my first class that I think, what was my first class where they earned a certificate. So students who are in this class for 2 semesters earn a certificate and learn about the process of being culturally competent. After they earn that certificate, what happens is they begin to get trained in the park to do workshops. So they're doing workshops like Kelsey here just finished a group of workshops, and now she works in the park. What she did, she just graduated. But I have 2 other people who work in the park, and we go to freshman seminars every week, and we've been going to freshman seminars to talk about cultural competence, so the freshmen know what that really means and their identity and their intersectionality. So it was awesome. I had one male in there, and he wasn't even there for the picture. So anyways, Yeah, so this is a great class. I would highly recommend students to take the class. It helps them not only in college, but also in their career choices. Because that's the question they ask now. How diverse have you been with other people? Have you been with diverse groups before? So this is a great class.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Boo and Tina. Hey, we've got a couple questions, and I'm wondering if you can go back to the supplemental instruction slide. How do students find out about SI classes in time? Like if, how would they know or anticipate that they might need the help? And then how would they get how would they know to register for it?
Well, at the beginning of the semester, we hire the students right before the beginning of the semester. We're doing a hiring. And so sometimes it's difficult to know exactly when their schedules are available, what time they're available. So if perhaps History 901, Professor Collins, will allow the student leader to announce when the SI session is in the class. So the student leader does the recruiting of the students. So in order for the student to know, like in the asterisk, there's an asterisk in the schedule that says, oh, there's an SI with it, with this class. Some of the classes have an asterisk for a supplemental instruction. And then also, when the student goes to that class on the first day, the SI leader is introduced by that faculty member. And then the student can sign up. The student can manually sign up with the SI leader or through, registration. So, and we have a list like this on the board in the PARC. And again, I don't have an SI for each course. That would be the ideal thing to have. But so if you come in the PARC and you look, I can't tell you what's going to be in the spring, but I could tell you what's going on right now. Because we hire students, we hired over 18 students this semester. So and we have to look at their schedule when they can actually facilitate the learning for the students. So it's a difficult little process. It's not like we can know the time before the semester. That's why we ask you to, the student to go to the professor, and the professor will advertise for the SI leader if they have that course connected to theirs.
This is this is so cool. Thank you. I want to make sure that our parents and families who are here with us understand what SI is. So this is a class that students can take. It's additional, so supplemental additional class. And it's only one unit. So it's not like a rigorous class. The units kind of correspond with how much time we expect that students would spend on it. And so a 1 unit class would be like, a supplement. It's helpful. And these SI courses they're targeted, right? Like Dr. Jordan and her team are looking at what are the classes where students are traditionally failing or getting a D or withdrawing, they're not doing well. And so let's give some extra help there. And then this student leader, so they rely on students who have come through these subjects in the past and have been successful. Those students are called, SI leaders. They go into the class in person and they say, hey, I'm here. I have this supplemental 1 unit, 1 hour, 2 days a week where you can come. You're struggling with physics, come to this, SI. You're struggling with your Econ 1A class, or you're a little worried about it. You might have trouble. Come to my, my SI class. That's so cool. We have a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, from a mom, from Rhonda, who's asking, did I hear correctly that it is not too late for a student to join SI now for a class that they're in?
What we would ask the SI leader, right, to write a contract with the student, because there's not going to be a 1 unit, because it's after census and you can't get that 1 unit course right now. So if that student is already attending, say, the 17B, that student can come to that SI and the SI leader will let them in and they will participate and engage in learning that way. However, they're not the same. Like if you went to the History 17B 13, that's a different SI leader, and therefore the content of the course is different, because the professors, all the 17Bs, they teach they have their own books, their own way of the pedagogy that unfolds in their classroom. So they're not all the same. You just can't nilly-willy just go to a 17B SI class. Get what I'm saying? So it has to be already a course that's already connected to a particular professor. Is that clear?
Okay. Yeah, so they have to be in the class and it has to be the supplemental instruction that's connected to the class they're in. And they're not going to get the 1 unit if they're worried about the 1 unit. But if they are looking for a regular place to go and get help where they know every, Monday, Wednesday, every Tuesday, Thursday for this hour, I can go and get help. Many people don't care about that extra unit. Some people do, though, if it's a financial aid situation, and you need that extra unit. But if they just need the help, they can just approach, what Dr. Jordan is saying is they just ask the SI leader and say, hey, can I come? And they'll say, yeah.
We're trying to expand these more because of our graduation initiative. So we added more. So soon it will be that we will have an SI for every 17A, which would make it more equitable, or 17B for all the students. Instead of having to choose, what we do is we get a big spreadsheet every semester and we look at what classes actually where students were, particularly students of color, had a large DWF, or they call it a DWF rate. I think Haley had put something about that in the chat. But that's how we select the courses to be tied to, the SI courses to be tied to these large lecture courses. That's why we have like a Math 24 or criminal justice. There's tons of reading in there. So that's why the SI leader facilitates that knowledge.
Let me add something too, Tina. The data shows that whether or not, if you get the 1 unit or not, if you show up consistently and participate on a consistently basis throughout the semester, you're going to get those results at the end. So it doesn't matter if you get the 1 unit or not, right? It's just showing up consistently and doing the work.
Wow, just like life, showing up consistently and doing the work. Cool. Well, what questions do we have from our families? I see Michelle put something in the chat. Who does a student contact about discussing their major at college? I want to understand this support in this area. Okay, so around their major. Dr. Jordan or Vu, do you have anything to say about that? And then I'll follow up.
Yeah, Vu, you want to talk about advising we have?
Yeah, we have the PLACE program, which is our peer-led advising for college experience. And these are oftentimes graduate students or students in their final year of school, basically, that have a lot of knowledge with understanding what it takes to navigate the GE courses, taking some of those major courses, understanding the history of professors too as well, who is a good professor, who's a bad professor, so that they can give that peer-to-peer type of feedback in terms of navigating the coursework a little bit more effectively, right? Versus if you go to, say, an academic advisor in the first floor of Lassen Hall, they might not have that peer-to-peer aspect per se, but they do have a lot of knowledge about what courses to take and major to take it. But I always believe that having that peer-to-peer interaction and having that insider knowledge of which professor is good and which professor is not will go a long way to helping you to graduate a lot faster, right? So we do offer peer-to-peer advising for many different majors. I don't know what your major is in particular, but I'm sure we can find someone in the PARC to kind of guide you towards that. So.
Thanks. That was a question I had, Michelle, is does your student have a major declared? So if, Michelle, I'm not sure what you have going on, if you're able to unmute or respond in the chat, but I just wanted to, Michelle says, yes, she's in her 2nd year and acing it. Okay, cool. So in that case, so it's going well, and it sounds like there's no intention of leaving. It's kind of like, where does your student want to go to talk about their major? So they have options. They can go to the PARC and they can talk with other students who are maybe a little further along in the same major. they can also go to their major department. They, each major, I think Sac State has like 58 majors, and everyone does it differently. Some students are assigned a major advisor in their student center. Some people get to choose, but they don't have to talk to their assigned advisor. Let's say they find a professor, they can research like, oh, this person's a professor in my, and all of their bios and stuff are on the website. They can say, oh, this person's research sounds interesting, or, oh, this is let's say I'm a Hmong woman researching something specific, and I find another Hmong woman who researched something similar, and I want to talk with her, even though she's not my assigned advisor. That student could certainly talk with that person also. And then there's also academic advising, like Vu mentioned, in the first floor of Lassen Hall. That's going to be, the people who work there are professionals. And so what Vu is saying is like, who is your student more comfortable talking with? When they talk with a professional, they probably feel that power dynamic, like someone's telling them what to do, compared to when they talk with a peer who is saying, well, here's my experience. Did you ever think about this? Doesn't feel like someone telling them what to do. The other thing that that can be done, just so you have the information, Michelle, is the Career Center offers this sort of experience, I'll call it. And it's called, What Can I Do with This Major? And this can be like a guided experience, or they can explore this on their own. It's kind of time consuming, but it is important, I think. So I think what can I do with this major, and a guided conversation through the Career Center is one thing that she can do, given that you said it's about long-term career path that she could use guidance with in grad school. And then also, given that she has these larger aspirations, I would actually just personally recommend that she talk with the chair of the department. Make a meeting, whether it's Zoom or in person, come prepared, come with questions and sort of interests, and then look for, a little tip that I learned that I'll pass along to your daughter is, before that meeting with the department chair ends, ask for 2 contacts that she recommends, that the department chair recommends that she reach out to. Hope that helps. So Denise is asking, did I hear correctly that it has an asterisk or a little star to register for class sections with the SI component? I think that's how students know what it is, but also it sounds to me, Denise, like a student shows up to class and a human being tells them on day 1, hello, we have a supplemental instruction class. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right. What she just said, there is an asterisk sometimes because we have established SI classes for some large lectures, but then we hire like in the middle of summer, so we don't get to have an asterisk for all classes because we haven't selected the time for the student. So it's better that the student show up. If they look for a class in the schedule and they see it, then they'll know there's an SI. But sometimes we put SI as late as, the end of August. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, so from a proactive standpoint, yes, they can look for the asterisk.
Mm-hmm.
And then from a sort of, less planning approach, they can,
come to the
in
PARC.
class.
And the faculty will know when they're teaching an SI, if they're teaching an SI. We're going to try to make these available across campus in all the high fail rate courses. But right now, this is not something that we do as far as having all of them listed in the guidebook or in the schedule. But come to the PARC, I'm here for you, and I can help your student pick a course if that's a high fail rate course, and tell them the professor that we generally have an SI course with.
Thank you. And thank you for your questions. I see Sydney was asking, can you review how to find what can I do with this major? So Mackenzie put the link in the chat, and I am not sure if it asks your student to log in with their Sac State credentials. And if that's the case, then you won't be seeing what they will be seeing. There's also, Sydney, I'm going to put this link in the chat, which is scheduling an appointment. Schedule appointment with career counselor. And I think that, you know, to have your student, this is what I would recommend, you know, have your student go through the, what can I do with this major, and then schedule an appointment with the career counselor. And there are people who are, you know, supposed to work with certain colleges. So somebody that's familiar with careers in, you know, science and math, or, you know, people who are more familiar with careers in health and human services, and to have that informed discussion. And, you know, not just stay at the Career Center. I think, you know, the Career Center tends to offer these like large, you know, big picture sort of questions about who your student is and what they want to do with their life. But your student's academic department, their major, is going to have some really good connections too about what are people doing now in the field, where are people getting jobs, and, you know, alumni over the last 5 years, alumni, people who graduated during COVID, where did they get jobs? You know, that the Career Center is not going to have that information, but the department will have that information. So any other questions for our guests today? I want to thank you all so much for listening, and I want to thank Dr. Jordan and Vu for presenting and talking to us about all the amazing work that you're doing at the park. I hope your students can take care of you know, some of their questions and go find academic help with these expanded hours, and look for, you know, look for online and in-person services coming up in spring semester. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
All right,
And I appreciate the parents coming here to support their students. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great Friday.
Bye.
All right, so that was kind of more of an in-depth look at where your students and how your students can get tutoring and academic help. Tutoring through the PARC and supplemental instruction are not the only ways they can get help. We've talked a little bit in the past. There's also a writing center on campus. There's the math lab for math specifically. There is an online tutoring platform called Smart Thinking that every student can access through their through Canvas, and that's 24 hours a day. And they can get tutoring on like a variety of subjects. I think anything that they need. And so there's, you know, plenty of academic help out there. It is like, I'm happy that they showed us how you would go into or like walk into the virtual sort of waiting room of the park, because I'm not sure how much students feel comfortable, you know, oh, I'm going to walk into this office, or I'm just going to click on this link and there's a person there. But I think it's a really nice way to have a human being like usher them through the service and getting the service that they want. So if you have any inquiries or requests for departments that you would like to come talk to us, we certainly, you know, can make that happen. We had a little bit of interest today in the Career Center, and the Career Center has some interesting things that they're doing. So maybe we can bring the Career Center in the future and talk to you about what your students can get there. Okay, well, we are approaching the middle of the semester. Your students may have already had some tests and some essays due. I'm not sure that anyone has had any midterms yet, but I guess I'll ask, have you been hearing from your students? How are they doing? Have they had tests? Yes, okay. Thanks, Lizzie. What happened? How did it go? What did they tell you? Okay, good, good, good. It's, it's still pretty quiet on campus, and there are, about 25% of the students we're used to seeing, but there are people there, and, a ton of eateries open, and things still kind of feel like they're in an in-between place. We have, a push from the provost and from the president to have all classes, or as many classes as possible, in person in the spring. I don't know how much that message has been reaching you, but that message has been reaching us on campus a lot. So, I expect that we'll see more classes in person in the spring. I'm seeing some comments in the chat. Okay, students were writing essays, had tests, really liking our health science class. That's great. Do we have anyone who is coming to visit for the homecoming football game? Just curious. Maybe, okay. Yeah, can't make it, I understand. Coming home that weekend, can't, but we'll be there in early November. Okay, great. It's a strange time because our homecoming weekend isn't going to be like normal. It's not going to be like our regular family weekend. So I hope that we can, look forward to next year when we can have a big party in person, and you'll all come join me out at Zocalo on the patio, and we can talk and catch up in person. I know, Ingrid, I know. So we are going to have a virtual family weekend mixer. It's only going to be an hour on Saturday the 30th, right before Halloween. And it'll be from 3:30 to 4:30. I hope you can join us, wear your Sac State Hornet gear. If you have been coming to these and paying attention, you may have noticed that I rescheduled it. That's based on some personal stuff going on. So my mom just went through breast cancer last month, and her surgery went really well. I guess it's been a couple months ago now, and she's through her radiation. And she asked me, my sister and I, to go to Sonoma with her for the day for her birthday. She's turning 73. And so that is what we're going to do. And that is why I am rescheduling the virtual family weekend mixer. And, mama made it through breast cancer. Yeah, let's go celebrate. That's what we're going to do. So thank you all for understanding. Yeah. It's, it affects a lot of people, but it's still, it's still emotional. Yeah, thanks. So I think that's it for the updates for Parents and Families program. I know we've had, I continue to get updates and questions from you about your students' experience. And, I appreciate you always reaching out. I feel like we're, for the most part, able to answer some of your questions. But I want to make sure that we, give you an opportunity to ask questions and open things up here if you have them or you want to talk about anything. Thanks everybody for your love in the chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, she's doing really good. Like best case scenario that could possibly happen. So Michelle said she biked through campus last weekend and loved it. Her daughter did too. Yeah, it would be great. It would be really great to have her on campus. Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Lizzie. I think my mom is going to be just fine. Thank you, Pamela. So is there anything on your mind? I want to answer questions for you in terms of our presentation and updates for today. That's it. So if you're, on a time crunch and you want to bounce out, feel free to take the rest of your Friday, but I will be here. I'll stick around and answer some questions. I see Phoebe put a message in the chat for any Bay Area folks who have students without cars. Just wanted to mention that Amtrak turned out to be a convenient option for our kid to come home. The bus goes straight to the station and it was only $20 and quick. That's great. Thank you, Phoebe. Sylvia says, many upper division students in interior design and architecture have made comments that they weren't taught how to use programs like Illustrator, Photoshop, but are expected to use them. My daughter, this is really important. My daughter's in her second year of the major and thankfully hasn't had that experience. So it seems like there's been changes, but I just wanted to know if the design department is aware of this issue and is making changes to teach students the programs they need. I have never heard this. I think this is really important. So this is definitely one of the cases where where I, as the program director, I'll take your note, I'll copy paste it, and I'll send it, and I'll say, hey, we had a town hall Zoom. This question came up from a parent, and then I'll let you know what they say. If you'd like to send me a private chat with your email address, I can get back to you and let you know what they say. I see Ramona saying that she was on campus for a jazz concert. Oh, that's awesome. Be able to watch the students perform live. That's great. Sometimes walking through campus, you can hear students in the music program or students in the band who are outside playing, and it happens kind of a lot. And it's really lovely. We have a lot of trees. Our campus kind of feels like a park, and to hear the music like floating through the environment is really great. So Ramona, I'm happy that you were able to see the jazz concert. Elizabeth is asking, when can people apply for campus housing, new freshman students? So Mackenzie, can you look really quick when the spring application opens? So we'll have Mackenzie get that off the housing website and put it in the chat. I think I'm not sure when. We're gonna figure it out. Feels like it's never quite as soon as we want it to be. Bye, Lizzie. Yay, thank you, Michelle. I'm happy to hear your mom is a survivor. Elisa says she's hearing the food situation is getting better. Yeah, we went and had to check it out for ourselves and see how it was. And I've been on campus 9.5 years, almost 10 years. And so I've gone to the dining commons. We go every year. Sometimes we host things there, like particularly on move-in weekend, and it is really improved. That's not to say or to negate students' experiences, right? But like, it's pretty good. Sydney is saying the link to what can I do with my major indicated that I needed to go through the school. I see. So Sydney, we can do a couple things here. Let me look at the rest of the chat. If we have a couple minutes, I actually have a 12:30 meeting, but if we have a couple minutes, I'll share my screen because I think I have access and I'll show you what it looks like. But I would encourage you to get on send the link to your student, maybe schedule a time to talk with your student, say, hey, can I have 20 minutes with you on Sunday night at 5? I want us to look at something together on the computer. Your student has a Zoom account. Every single student has a Zoom account, just like I do, where they can host up to 300 people. So they could also host a study session. They can also log on to that link and show you what they see, and you can navigate it together. I'm sure they would love that, right? Like I'm sure they wouldn't love it, but 20 minutes, like I think they might do it. Let's see if I have time to show you though. Yes, we will post the recording. I actually had a report that my recordings haven't been posted, which was news to me. So we typically post them on our YouTube channel and on our website. So they're, I will look into that, but yes, we'll post the recording. Okay, Rhonda's daughter is also in interior design. Where can students get their flu shots? Oh, at the health center, at the well. So I actually just passed a sign on campus yesterday that said, free flu shots available now for students at the well. So they literally just walk into the well and they go to the left, which is where the health center is. And that's where they can get their flu shot. Sometimes they have tables outside as well. Thank you, Sylvia. I got your email address. Oh no, a worm in the broccoli. It's gross. Okay, so Mackenzie found the housing and it says that they opened, October 4th. So they're open. Okay. So I am getting a question asking, how does a student find out if they can move on campus? On the dorms, we call it campus housing. And are sophomores allowed? Yes, absolutely. Sophomores are allowed. Any student of any age or grade level could stay on campus. There are certain halls, I think, that are reserved for freshmen and certain halls reserved for older students, like American River Courtyard is supposed to be for, transfer students and upper class people. But honestly, COVID changed a lot. So in terms of where your student would be, that would be, I think, something that you can find in the application. So right before you posted your message, right above that message is Mackenzie posted applications, and that's a housing application for on campus. So that is where you would go to see what the cost would be. And you basically are making a request like, hey, can my kid get in? And they'll ask you for, a deposit. So maybe before you fill out the application, maybe you want to just kind of look around. You can do an online tour as well, or you can do a campus tour of housing. And those happen kind of, I think, every day, online or in person. Can they also get tested for COVID? They can get tested for COVID. Yes, it happens in a different location. It happens in the parking lot, like the bottom floor of the parking garage, COVID testing right across from the well. So you could literally see it if you knew to look for it, but I'm not sure that students know to look for it. They do have signs that say COVID testing because there's the protocol for all the students who have, they got a medical exemption or a religious exemption. Those people have to be tested twice a week. Staff as well. And that's where the COVID testing is happening, is right across from the well. I mean, it's like 800 yards or something, in the bottom floor of the parking garage. Okay, let's see. So I'm going down. I see Wanda says, I'm late. Maybe you already answered this. My daughter is trying to use my planner app. Oh, okay, I think you're talking about the Smart Planner. How can she get help laying out her classes for the rest of her semester? Well, I would say any advisor is capable of talking with her about Smart Planner. Honestly, most students play around with it. Smart Planner does a couple of things. One of the things it does, and one of the reasons it's so important, is it tells the university the demand of when someone wants to take a class. So students do change a lot of when they want to take classes, especially if they're fresh, first year students, freshmen. But Smart Planner can see aggregates, right? It can see like, oh, we've got a spike of people who want to take Comms 4 in fall next year. We better hire some more faculty. So Smart Planner is really helpful. I would say go to the academic advising office for a very quick overview. They could make an appointment. I believe they have walk-in hours too. Mackenzie, can you put academic advising in there for Wanda? And then Wanda, it's called Smart Planner. So they could make an appointment with an academic advisor or ask one of their friends as well. Is it rapid testing? Ooh, Michelle, I don't know. For COVID, I think you can purchase, I really don't know. I have no idea if it's rapid testing. I would think it needs to be because of how that's working, but I'm not sure. Are COVID testings only if students have symptoms? No, Ramona. COVID testing is for anyone who wants it, and for students and staff and faculty, if anyone has decided not to get a vaccine, they had to either have a medical, like a legitimate medical reason, that would be called like a medical exemption, or a religious reason, and that would be called the religious exemption. And those people who are not vaccinated have to get tested twice weekly. So that's also who it's for. Thank you, Mackenzie. She put the link for academic advising in there. Okay. I think that they can do walk-ins and by appointment, Ramona. Appointment's always safer if they can do it. So we've got 4 minutes. I'm going to open up my Career Center page, and I'm going to show you what can I do with this major.
Hey, Haley.
Yeah.
Can I just make a suggestion about who was asking about the planner option, the
Yeah.
student planner? I was helping my cousin, she's a freshman. And there's actually, if you go through the Student Center and you go through keys to degrees, there's another option. Oops. And it's called Academic Requirements Report. And I kind of prefer that to do if you're doing it on your own and you want to look through and see what you need, because it has each category and it lets you know if you're in progress, it's yellow. If you've completed it, it's green. And if you still need to do it, it's red. And it also includes all of the courses that fulfill those requirements. So I really like that one if you're doing it at home. That's how, and on your own or with your student, I would recommend doing it that way. If you can't get a hold of an advisor either.
That's actually a really great point. So the academic requirements report is in their student center. And every time I meet with a student, I pull that up every single time, because it shows us how much progress they've made to their degree, how many units they've taken, and then how many classes they have left. And it's ordered by like GE requirement and then major requirement below. And you can see what classes they need to take, if they need to be sequenced, what are the prerequisites, what are the options. So let's say there's like 150 electives, it'll show all of those. The academic requirements report is a really good place to look. Okay, good suggestion, Mackenzie. I also hope to meet you all in person. I'm going to show you the Career Center page really quick. So I just typed in CSUS Career Center to Google, and this is their homepage. So students would come here and they would click on, what can I do with this major? And you click on, I'll view the majors. And I don't know the major of the person who asked this. If you happen to be out there and you can type in the chat really quick, what major should we choose? Otherwise, communications. You got it, Sydney. Okay, let's go down. I wonder, there it is, communication studies. Okay, so it's loading. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this page is interesting, right? So there's a few ways it's organized. And the first time I looked at it, I'm like, oh, that's helpful. And then I scrolled and I'm like, oh, there's so much here. Okay, so this is showing us by area, some options. Then here's some employers and then strategies. So this means like if you're doing business communications, that's what area means. You could go into, those areas. Public relations and advertising communications. Media, here are some employers. Nonprofit communications. So, right, they wouldn't have to have their idea. Your student could look through this and say, oh, maybe I want to do communications in government. They could maybe get the idea from looking at a site like this. If they want to do communications in law, doesn't mean they have to be a lawyer. They might be working for a university. Speaking of higher education. And then down here, you see professional associations. This is super useful. So students can join professional associations and, maybe should, to just get a sense of, they can get mentorship. They can get a sense of what people are talking about. If your student doesn't want to join a club that's really career focused, they could join a professional association. Public Relations Society of America does have a student sort of facing thing, and it's called Public Relations Student Society of America, I think, PRSSA. And that is a really popular and really awesome club at Sac State. It's big. Students get public speaking experience. They get connections. I've seen students go through PRSSA, and it really kind of helps them get an edge on professionalism. Seen that up close with one of my student assistants. Man, she came in not very professional, and PRSSA really helped her. And then, here's some more, information here. And so that is all the time I have to show you. I got to bounce over to another meeting, but I hope that helped, Sydney. Yeah, Okay, good. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again in a month. Wait, I'll see you at the mixer on the 30th. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.